With all this talk of a recession hitting the U.S. economy, home buyers and home sellers are getting a little nervous. They're wondering what the future holds and what they should do. Hello everyone, this is Chris Morton, real estate broker with eXp Realty in Raleigh, North Carolina. And so what is happening and how is it going to affect the housing market? Well, a recession is officially here in the U.S. And on top of that, interest rates are rising. They just ticked up again this last week. And home sellers and home buyers are getting really nervous that the Raleigh housing market is about to see a massive crash. First off, as we said in past videos, a recession does not mean a housing market crash, and an economic slowdown does not mean houses are going to lose a massive amount of value. Home prices do not fall every single time we've had a recession. Here, let's look at the last 6 most recent recessions going all the way back to the 1980s. As the green shows, home prices actually increased in 4 of the last 6 recessions. And yes, during 2 of the recessions, home prices actually did go down. However, the first was in the early 80s when prices only fell by 1.9%. The second was a little more famous. That was the big crash of 2008 when home values went down almost 20%. And because people have short-term memories when it comes to downturns and recessions, a lot of people think this recession is going to be just like 2008 with prices going down and foreclosures hitting the market any day now. But again, in 5 of the last 6 recessions, home values did not go down at all or just went down a very little bit. Please know what happened in 2008 was a freak occurrence. Lending requirements are much more strict than they were in 2008 when basically just anyone and their dog could get a loan on a home. These loose lending requirements meant that a lot of unqualified buyers were able to buy a home, and then unfortunately some of them were not able to pay their mortgage down the road and unfortunately had to get foreclosed on, which caused a surplus of homes to hit the market. As compared to 2008, things are a lot different now. Back then there was a surplus of homes. Today we have a shortage of homes. There's just very few homes out there, even with the reduced number of buyers are out now because of interest rates. There's still not enough homes to meet the demand of the buyers that are looking to buy a home. So with all that being said, there's very little chance of seeing a surplus of homes, which would cause prices to go down anytime soon. But you may be saying, wait a minute, we're seeing the news that foreclosures are skyrocketing this year over what happened last year. And yes, it is absolutely true that the rate of foreclosures have gone up 188% from last year to this year. The media is going to tell you that. Home prices are going to fall because foreclosures are up 188%. But let's put that into a little bit of perspective. If, let's say, there were 100 homes last year that went into foreclosure and we've gone up 188%, that means there's now 188 homes in foreclosure this year. And while 188% sounds like a lot, when you really break down the numbers, you realize by there being so few foreclosures out there last year, any amount of dramatic increase this year is going to mean we're still pretty close to zero. The media likes to sensationalize stories. Let's be perfectly frank and honest about it. They are not going to report that the foreclosure amount has gone up this much year over year when they can say 188% increase in foreclosures. So bear that in mind when you hear that foreclosures are skyrocketing and things are getting crazy. You can use statistics to manipulate the data any way you want. Just know that a large number of foreclosures are unlikely to hit the U.S. market anytime soon. The main reason being, it takes so long for a home to go through the foreclosure process that a homeowner would be evicted, literally something like almost 2 years now at this point. It takes so long for that to happen that during that period of time, that homeowner could easily put their home on the market, get it sold relatively quickly, and get out from underneath that obligation before they lost their home to the bank. So, unlikely you're going to see a giant wave of foreclosures hit the market. More likely, as people have need to sell their home, they're gonna sell their home. But, you may say, Raleigh home prices are having price reductions. That's gotta mean something about the economy going to heck right? Well, actually no. Homes that are priced correctly and look really good are still selling very, very quickly. See, what's happened is a lot of sellers in the past few months have just put their homes on the market without doing any improvements. They assumed that we were in the go-go period of last year and early this year, and they didn't need to do any improvements. And unfortunately, because the pool of buyers have been reduced, mainly because of interest rates being hiked up, those buyers that are out there have gotten pickier. And so a home that needs a lot of work is getting passed by. Beyond that, some sellers put their home on the market anticipating a 30% increase in value like we've seen over the past year and a half. So they price their home accordingly. They should never have done that. They should always price their home. All sellers should always price their home where the market says the home is worth now. Let the market appreciate it and increase the value during the offer phase, but you don't make that decision. Let the market make that decision. So what's happened is those homes that were overpriced for the market today have now had to do price corrections to get them back to where they really should have been priced initially. In other words, it's just correcting a pricing error that happened when the sellers put their home on the market. It isn't indicative of some housing crisis that's happening. So what will happen in the future? Again, recession does not mean housing crisis. There will be ebbs and flows in the market, which is completely natural, especially during a slowdown. We continue to see a gradual increase in prices or maybe a flattening out of prices, but we are not seeing, and we do not expect to see, prices for homes in the triangle going down, down, and down. Increased interest rates will lead to fewer buyers out there looking to buy a home, which means buyers will have less competition for the homes, which means those buyers are going to be pickier and pickier about which homes they decide to buy. The good news for us here in the Raleigh area is we are uniquely positioned to weather any of these economic storms. Again, we continue to have low inventory in this area. Inventory is rising in other parts of the country. It's just not happening here in the Triangle, which means with constrained supply, you are unlikely to see a surplus of homes causing price reductions. The Raleigh market should be able to weather the storm pretty well in that regard. Beyond that, the tech industry is continuing to supply more and more jobs to the area. As more and more of these companies come to our area, you're going to see more demand for housing along with all of these amazing new jobs. And of course, the work from home trend is continuing full steam ahead. Lots of people in the last couple of years have decided they don't want to live in overpriced, really expensive areas and have decided to make Raleigh and the surrounding areas their home, because if you can work from home, why work somewhere expensive when you can work somewhere really nice and relatively not so expensive like the Raleigh area? And so if you're selling your home, you should always do, like we've said on past videos, always prepare your home and make it look as amazing as you can. We call these homes looking like a model. That means it's clean, smells good, isn't cluttered, staged well. There's not a lot of improvements that need to be made to the home. Basically, a move-in ready home. We believe that most of these picky buyers that are out there looking to buy a home right now are gonna lean more towards these model homes than they are a fixer-upper. Some people enjoy fixer-uppers. They want to put their own personal stamp on it, but by and large, most people don't want the hassle of living in a construction zone. They want to move in a house that they don't have to worry about. They can put their clothes in the closet, put their pictures on the walls, put their furniture where it belongs, sit and have a good, enjoyable life without having to worry about hammering and nailing and sawing going on around them. We continue to believe that these model homes that we talk about will continue to sell in our area, especially in the very, very robust areas like downtown Raleigh, downtown Durham, Cary, and the Silicon Circle, which is that area that's about 30 minutes outside of Apple's new under construction campus here in the Triangle. So if you're considering a move either into or out of the Triangle, my real estate team and I would love to be your agents of choice. You can call us, the number below, email us at hello@mortonbradbury.com, or click on the link in the description below. Like and subscribe to this video if you haven't already done so. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.